Have you ever wondered what a day in the life of a super prolific creator actually looks like? Well, today we're taking a peek behind the curtain. This is the Creative Engine, an inside look at a day with Nicholas Alexander Benson.
And it all kicks off, well, in the middle of the night, with a dream. So get this, our hero, Jet, and his sidekick, Johnson, who happens to be a goldfish in an astronaut suit, are flying towards this mysterious planet. They're on a psychic rescue mission.
Yeah, you heard that right.
Okay, let's just pause on that for a second. A dude on a glowing green surfboard, flying next to a spacefaring goldfish. Most of us would wake up, laugh, and forget that by the time we have our first coffee. But not Nicholas. So how does an image this wild go from a dream to a whole bunch of creative projects in just one day? That's exactly what we're going to unpack.
All right, so first things first, we have to understand the raw material here. It all starts with a dream, yeah? But this isn't just any old dream.
This is a lucid dream. What that means is Nicholas, who goes by the name Jet in his dreams, knows he's dreaming while it's happening. And not only that, he can actually control the story. You know, it's like a virtual reality sandbox where the computer is your own brain. Pretty cool, right?
So, who needs rescuing on this mission? Meet the werebugs. His dream journal describes them as this peaceful race of humanoid, four-armed psychic insects, and they've sent out a desperate psychic distress signal from their homeworld.
And the reason for that call for help? Well, you've always got to have villains. Enter the Super Invaders. These guys are a whole legion of muscular, flying superhumans dressed in red. They've not only enslaved the werebugs, but they've stolen their psychic power.
But here's the thing. In this lucid dream, Jet doesn't just sit back and watch. He gets involved. The mission plays out in these 4 stages. First, he and Johnson get the signal. Then, they go and confront the invaders. But a straight-up fight just isn't going to cut it. So third, and this is the genius part, after some trial and error, he comes up with this brilliant solution using portals. And finally, he uses those portals to banish the bad guys and restore order.
So, psychic insects, flying supervillains. It's all amazing, epic stuff. But these ideas don't just appear out of thin air. They're all connected to his waking life. And, digging into those connections is where things get really fascinating.
So it makes you wonder, where does an idea as specific as intelligent, target-seeking portals actually come from?
And boom, here's the connection. The winning move in the dream was these smart portals, right? Well, in his waking life, Nicholas is totally fascinated by developing AI agents, basically intelligent programs that can perform tasks all on their own. His brain isn't just dreaming, it's literally workshopping his real-world passions while he's asleep.
And what's really cool is this. In his journal, he points out that the mission took trial and error. That whole process of trying something, seeing it fail, tweaking it, and trying again until you find that perfect solution, that's not just some dream plot. That's the heart of being a creative person.
So what about the supervillains? Well, get this. His logs for the day show he was playing Fortnite and got a victory royale as the Green Ranger. You see that superhero-style battle? That epic hero versus villain showdown? That's what's fueling these dream adventures. He's basically training for his dream missions in his downtime.
So he has the dream, he understands where the ideas came from, but that's just the beginning. Now, the real creative factory fires up, turning that one dream into a whole bunch of actual content.
For example, here's a direct line from the script of his dream anime for that day. He writes, "I created intelligent portals to banish the superhumans and return the stolen rings to the worm-bug priests to restore order to their world." So he's not just writing it down for himself, he's turning it into an animated episode.
But why stop there? He takes that same story and adapts it again, this time into a song for his Dream Tunes project. Check out these lyrics. With the portaspell, a portal appeared, bright as the sun, then a legal link locked onto them, every last one. It's the same exact plot point, just remixed into a whole new vibe.
You might be wondering how he does all of this so quickly. Well, his bio mentions that he uses AI tools to help create the dream anime, the dream tunes, and even a Dreamcast podcast where he breaks it all down. He's got this system for taking an idea and just boom, 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 turning it into multiple pieces of art he can share.
But the truly wild part is that this whole massive project, all spun out of one single dream, wasn't even everything he did that day.
I mean, the creative engine just doesn't stop. Later that exact same day, he outlined, wrote, and published a whole book concept called Aura Farmer. It's about a demon agent on Earth whose job is to fight superheroes, but his power literally comes from being stylish. He says, the comedy would come from the insane lengths Nose goes to in order to appear as cool as possible. Just a completely different, fully formed idea created on the same day.
And in the middle of all this epic world building, he still stays grounded. He also finds time to walk 1 charity mile for Feeding America. And that's such an important detail, because it shows his creative engine isn't just fueled by games and imagination. It's also powered by connecting with the real world and making a difference.
So, at the end of a day packed with lucid dreams, AI art, book writing, and charity, how on earth do you even process all of that? Well, surprise, surprise, he's got a system for that too.
He actually makes a highlight comic to recap his day. So for this day, the highlights were rescuing a planet of werebugs in a lucid dream, walking that charity mile, writing and publishing Aura Farmer, and of course, getting that victory royale in Fortnite. He's literally creating a final piece of content about all the other content he created. It's so meta, and it's absolutely brilliant.
When you really look at it, this is what happens when you build a system to capture, analyze, and create from the raw material of your own life. And it leaves us with one final, pretty powerful question to think about. If this is what can come from one person's day, what creative engine is just waiting to be switched on in yours?